Nice.
We are into it just as we were getting to the tail end, I think, of everything worth talking about there. We are indeed back into the action, so all good. Hopefully no more technical issues to come in. NIP, of course, starting off on this T side with a bit of utility in the back pocket.
What do we got then? B split. 3 players top mid. And a bit of a quick clear here of under. 2 smokes. One on Res. That's the apartment. Same with Hampus. It is going to be a B split. Hampus going to smoke top connector. Smoking for the market window. And here comes the hit.
Very bursty indeed. BQ, first line of defense, can't get anything done. Nexa looks a little better, but it's just not going to be enough. Bomb recovered. They should be able to get it down in just a moment here. Config up close for 2. Oh, bangers. Can he find any more around this corner here? The last line is Regali, and Config with 4 total headshots has absolutely written them off in the market.
Wow. Need a brush to get them off the floor. Whew. That was brutal from Config. I mean, the round was probably already looking pretty good for Nip, but he decided there's no way we're losing this. Fairly simple round. Bit of a B split. Works perfectly. No real resistance. And NIP pick up where they left off on Inferno. This time, of course, is their map pick. And, seen a little bit of Mirage, I guess, from NIP in the 2 days of this qualifier so far, and they can play some feisty Counter-Strike. It's they light up the pace sometimes.
It's very true. For the time being, we are a little slower. Walking with the utility and now picking up pace as it starts to come out. BQ, good spot here. Oh, he was so close to 2. Regali's also in there, though, and they weren't ready for him. So a lovely, cheesy little setup from OG, and definitely a round that you want to do it in when you're on the force by. Only 2 remaining for NIP. Config with 1 HP surely is a non-starter. The bomb's also in the hands of the CT side, so this is a fantastic look for OG right now.
Maybe just save. Feels like it. Config's not going to take a fight with his HP, and this round has been catastrophe for the Ninjas. Not looking good. And OG, I mean, the pistol was pretty flat. This is looking a lot better. Eagle shot's looking good. Fiku's always had a really good, he's been a pretty good pistol player. I remember that from back in the day. Say back in the day, about a year ago. Wasn't that long ago. Guns recovered. AK off the ground, Galil as well. And OG, after what's been a pretty troublesome half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that. I think they will indeed be comfortable, but there's still a few question marks in places for me in terms of the effectiveness of this team and how deep it's going to go. But winning a force buy after the pistol is always lovely. Always lovely. Either way, NIP are back with a response of their own. Fiku gets aggressive, only good for 1. Brolin will be happy with that trade, gets them some good pressure. However, he might not make it out of here. I don't think he'll be expecting a Palace push this quickly. Fasher calls it off, waiting to try and get some timing. And now he has been spotted. So doesn't fully dedicate to the play. There was a window for him to find a frag.
Up cat we go. Keto. On the balcony, on apartments. Smoke on catwalk to allow for the cross. Actually, it's going to be A instead. It's a bit of a ruse. You can see how Regali is fully committed to playing a market fashion. That is a beautiful shot. As Hampus is removed. And that's a lot of stopping power out of this kind of mid-split already blunted. NIP are just praying for a fight, and it's not being easily presented. This ramp position from Nexa is looking really strong now.
Lovely shot from Regali, though. Might just see it off. Might just see it off. Flash around the corner. Patience. Paid off for him. The double kill comes in as well. So well held from OG. There wasn't too much pressure. There wasn't too much opportunity for NIP to get back in. But all the same, really well played. And yeah, going to give them some good control in the early stages of this one, Alan.
It's looking good for OG. Get akin to the first half on Inferno. Let's keep this round clean, though. Especially if they can get some nice frags on Keto. And loft an AWP over to Regali. That'd be nice. On the flip side, any damage is good damage. And the Ninjas. Mid seems to be a bit of a killing zone at the moment. We're getting a lot of dinks off on these Glocks, but no kills to be found.
There you go. Finally got
Why is Regali peeking? That's the point.
I don't know. You just get hungry for the eco frags, man. Hungry for those stats. He's got money in the long term, I suppose. It's not awful. It's just like we always look at things in terms of like percentage plays, don't we? Players don't do that. Players are still gagging for the kills, especially when they've only got Glocks.
Going to be an early A split. Mid established by NIP. 2 players there, but this close round setup has got to be contended with. Look at that. Bomb is dropped. Pair of headshots for Fasher, and Brolan's going to do a lot of work. There's nobody actually looking Palace. Regali so focused on Connector. But even so, there's too many players to deal with, and Regali is on a bit of a tear now. OG looking great.
Fantastic to see, right? We talked about mental fortitude and all that. The bounce back factor. And they definitely do seem to have hit that here. Config spotted. Shoulder is all he's got, really. Goes wide, gets taken down. Easy pickings. So, nothing too stressful from the side of OG so far. Really good response since the force buy. And yeah, NIP, as usually happens, you get pretty heavily thrown off kilter by plays like that, and it seems they're unable to recover. I may well think about taking a pause here, to be honest with you.
Getting in that territory. I have noticed over, from what I saw yesterday and maybe in parts of Inferno, NIP aren't calling quite so many pauses. They would definitely call more on land, let's put it that way. Maybe it's because a bit more freedom for the coach to have input, let's say, on these online games. Don't feel so compelled. But yeah. NIP, or maybe even just use this eco, just have a bit of a discussion of what's going wrong, where we can find some space. It's a nice kill from Hampus. See if we can get any more.
Nice pick up from Regali, though. That's going to get them back in the lead in terms of the man advantage. Head trick, the next one to fall. So this is nice and easy in the end. Just Rez remaining. I don't think they know about his position, but he should not be long for this world, one would assume. Oh. And there it is. Regali, been holding that angle for a while. OG going to move up to 5. So starting off very, very well, similar to the way that they did on map number 1. Just have to make sure they keep their heads in the game the whole way through this time around.
Okay, what do you got for us, NIP? Let's have a look. Mid default nades out. Top mid smoke. Top connector smoke. Fast mid. play a straight up catwalk in Brolan. And look at that. Thatcher has no idea. Absolutely no idea a player would be that aggressive. Nobody revives on mid. Great utility from NIP, and that injection of pace nets them a gleaming entry. That is perfect.
Slow on the build-up, though, from NIP. They just want to take that entry to its maximum potential. Config, the creepy little man, he managed to get in. Unfortunately, no kills for him. They thought they maybe had him in a good spot. Not the case. It has really thrown OG for a loop, though. Config's usually your lurking presence. It looked like a lurking move. So they've actually bolstered up the B site and only left one player in the form of Keto over on A. So really, really interesting here. Really, really interesting, this move from NIP, and it seems to have worked. It seems to have really thrown OG off. Brawling going to be the next one to fall, though, so they are going into a, yes, it's weakened in terms of the defense, but they're a man down, so it has to come off perfectly. Keto as well. He's gotten himself into a bit of a mad off angle. He will now be spotted and finished, though. Couldn't do anything with it. 3-on-3. Looks like it's going to be a retake.
Flash over. They're going to swing. Molly, smoke in front of CT gives a little bit of space. You can one way over the top of that. You jump on some of the ticket boxes. Regali, though, finds his first. Scoped up now on Palace. This is looking good for the CT side. Smoke will isolate that off, and Fiku finds another. Plan isn't good for... actually, it is good for Rez. I thought it was default, but he's way off. He's not going to be there in time. And OG, despite losing ground, despite losing numbers, despite Keto getting stuck in a really bad position, they just cleaned up. Looking good.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, mate. You know, you can't knock it. It's not looking too bad at all. I'm out to come through from NIP. They understand things are spiraling out of control. They don't want to let it happen again, right? And you know, getting 2 overtime comeback victories in a row is a little less than likely, I think it's safe to say. So they are indeed playing the safe game with the timeouts.
At least we're back on the buy. That is nice. Mid-fight from OG. Look at this. Keto's even near. Playing off stairs. So 4 players in the vicinity. And as NIP load up the B apartments with some numbers. See what they choose to go in for. Config for the moment is getting left second Delpan. And OG, I guess they got a little bit of information that there isn't numbers mid right now. But elsewise, not too much. Mid smokes are through, and it looks like a missed top connector smoke to me. Keto might have a lot of information on where this hit's coming.
Lovely shot rings off. Regali to open us up. Yeah, looks like they are very ready for this one, doesn't it? Next, they'll catch Brolan asleep at the wheel. Hampus a little frustrated with how things have gone down. It's somewhat fallen apart. 5 versus 3. The timeout hasn't worked, and they are back to the damn drawing board. They might be back to the drawing board with no players, for goodness sake. Config rears his head. But surely a 4v2 is going to be unwinnable for NIP here. Not a lot of time. Not a lot in the way of information.
Counter-terrorists win.
And there you go. Finished off. It's looking all too easy for OG here, Alan.
Another round out of bomb plant for NIP. It's a bit of a catastrophe. Just can't find an opening. Not getting mid control for free necessarily, and when they do, it's OG's making fairly good decisions about where to load the bomb sites, if they're saving the right nades. It's been tricky for NIP. It's a bit of a shock. It's a bit of a shock. I mean, we spoke about it at length between these maps, but the way NIP ended map 1, communication looked good, the individuals look good. Mirage is a map that, if you have those two things, should be okay. Everyone plays it so much. You know your defaults are pretty standard. And it just hasn't materialized.
Yeah, it really is crazy to see, I think. And you could just see it a little bit. Hampus's sort of in-game movements on the previous one was hard to deal with. Hampus gets a couple kills on his Deagle, though. That's a little bit wild. All the same, 8-1 at the tail end of the round. OG just steaming ahead once again. It's a rinse and repeat from the first map. NIP will have to come back in some sense, that's for sure.
Onwards and upwards. What have you got for us, NIP? You're running out of time, and the money is otherworldly for OG. They're going to have so many buys. They're probably going to be buying every round in this half. Especially if they have any saves. And hopefully that lag didn't make it through to the viewers. That'd be a little bit scary.
It was all good on my end.
Oh, so it's just me?
Maybe.
Ooh. That'd be good news.
So watch out, watch out. I had my internet disconnect a couple times yesterday. The digital switch over, your old analog connection in the wall. Apparently they're getting rid of them. So, at least on our provider. So, yeah. It's all going online these days. That's what I've heard. Either way. Minute left in the round. NIP have gained some space. I do like the move here. They've gotten a player in towards window, ladder room. But we'll see. This is really, really solid stuff right here from the side of OG. But I like the position that NIP have. What I don't like is they have very little time.
Kirito. Oh, they're never going to expect this, especially for a player off catwalk. There's a smoke in connector that makes it a little bit trickier to get up and around it, but surely these players are going to have no idea. Hampus and Rez down. Headtrick doesn't know where to look in time. Being the 6th player as well for OG, this is devastation. This is a sledgehammer coming out from OG. Nip. This isn't even a match at the moment.
I know, it is wild. It is. This is even more one-sided than the start that we got last map. So it really is crazy to see. And again, it would scale into something even crazier if they somehow pull off yet another comeback, right? We're still in a position where NIP can recover. They are obviously on their second timeout here. Maybe even should have expected them to have a few more. You said they were a little apprehensive with the timeouts and whatnot yesterday. Seems like that's possible to be the case again here. But we'll see. We'll see. There's, like I say, there's still time. If they can hit the 5, they can hit the 6, they'll be happy with that. But they just have very little in the way of room to maneuver.
Did they just take 2 balls in a row? What's going on?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they've double stacked them. I'm definitely a fan. Summon's got to change. Summon's got to change, man. When you're only on 1 round, it's just like you need the round.
Check out the buy here as well. Such a mess. Their money's out of balance. Could really use a plant, however this round goes, just to ensure that they don't take more pain in subsequent rounds. Alright, what's the call? Couple smokes. Clearly, we're having a discussion. Maybe they paused to talk about the round after this and then realized they needed a plan for this round as well. See what they got in store. Just a window smoke for now. And, looks like Brolin's going to line up a jungle smoke. A fake into out under, something like this. Maybe B.
Not entirely sure, but they are, I think, obviously at a point where they've got to come up with something creative. Just kind of difficult to say what that's going to be, I suppose. Very slow wind up, whatever it is. So, clearly I would say a lot of thought has been put into these next few moments. In we go, though. Not too deep of an A execute coming around. Keto will find the frag onto Brolan to kick us off. Rez, though, picks up ahead of Keto. As you said, it's all a bit of a fake out. Nexa kind of knows what's up, though, when no bomb has been spotted. He feels very ready. He feels very prepared for this hit that is coming his way, and it just has not pulled off, unfortunately. Only the one remaining in the form of Hetrick, and he's absolutely miles away from all angles of whatever's been going down. Not around to get a trade, not around to pick up the bomb. He's only got 15 seconds. He wants to die here as the keeper. Get your loss bonus, bruv. There you go, he will indeed. But still, 10-1. NIP just can't buy around, bruv.
I wish they could at the moment. But not for sale, or at least the price of what they were willing to offer. And because of the money's out of balance, Config has to slip down to just a Mac 10. And, you know, at times on Inferno, it was a half of survival, that first half. But this one feels even more dire. Any rounds, anything for NIP would look good. How has Config found all the space? Trade is okay, I guess. There's a bit of a gap. And actually, the A site is wide open. Fascia, the only other player on the A side of the map, is currently contesting mid. And these guys, Hampus, the man with the bomb, Rez, are gaining so much space for free. Look at that. Fascia has no idea. OG, too much of a gap. Too much of a window.
Yeah, maybe. This is probably one of the better spots that NIP have found themselves in for a while. Whether it remains, however, all remains to be seen. It's all going to be on Hetrick towards mid here for me. He finds two. Jump spots for a third. He's preoccupied. Buy some time and find his head. There he is. Hetrick with a fantastic performance on Inferno has been awfully quiet here. That's a big round to step up in.
Regali is out of control. He's absolutely out of control. 17 kills. I mean, even making Fascia's on 14-4, you'd think that would be always the standout performance. After just 12 rounds of play, but Regali is something else. Man, Config though. Nice pair of entries. Finally, mid. Firmly leading the way of NIP. They're trying to capitalize on A, and they're actually a little bit lucky this bomb doesn't get dropped. They do some weird stuff, man. I mean, you fight mid, you get 2 kills. Why walk out A so quickly? Why not take a bit more time?
Regali with a nice pickup. It's going to turn the tides. Config in and around as that flash goes off. Oh, and a decent read. Surely Regali is ready for this fight. Surely Regali is ready for this fight. Going to take a peek. Oh, as he heard the jump up. That's what they were banking on. That's what they were playing on. It's now a fake out. They're drawing Nexa in. However, they themselves are on the way out.
Config is so low. Nexa has a nade, which, if placed correctly, can make this real frisky. And of course, they have no idea where Nexa is. This bomb is still yet to be planted. See what plant they choose to go for, of course. With our X-ray vision, we know the default is going to be by far the best plant. Flash is there. It's going to be in the smoke. Nexa creeps. Nobody presenting. Hetrick playing around the smoke. Can't quite see Nexa. This is on a knife edge. Who's going to peek first?
$1 million question. Nexa moving in. He has to find one of these entries quickly, and he takes down Config. Very easily indeed. Smoke on the bomb. Tap comes in. Hetrick. Oh, gotta get spray right. Oh, he just can't find it, though. Not expecting him to be on the bomb. A bit of panic from Headtrick, maybe. That was not like a fully committed spray down. It has to be said. Yeah, really not a good look from Headtrick. A dropped round that absolutely could have been theirs. Nexa just went for the super risky hold in the smoke, and somehow it pulls off.
That's a nightmare round for NIP. You can't lose those. Clean 5 on 3. They dry walk out A. Free. You guys are wondering what they should have done. You just call freeze. You didn't need to do anything. OG are the team that are compelled to react, and NIP walk into their grasp and then bottle the 2 versus 1. This is looking hectic. It's looking flustered, and it's looking like OG. So we're going to a map 3 at the moment. This is brutal.
Yeah, certainly does feel like a third map for sure. Fiku to open up into this little exchange. Ooh, res for a double. Fiku still remains on that B-bomb site, though, as the hold. Just res alone, he doesn't have the bomb, is obviously the key thing. So, has to fully rotate around. He's got to get through Keto here as well. He's just spotting towards short. Which is out some decent damage. Took a dink, but it's through such a thick box. Doesn't do any damage at all.
Where's the dead man walking? He's got to get some sensational timing or a perfect shot, and he gets it. Bomb is left. Is that on the balcony, or is it just below? It'll be a little bit awkward if he has to jump up. It is below. There's a nade for Keto. If he puts it on default, doesn't happen. 1-on-1. Can Rez get it done?
Got the angle. Here, I do like his positioning, to be fair. Low HP is all the difference, really. Keto working his way over. Rez may well have heard the inkling of a jump. Trying to spot him or sees him. And just has to take the fight. Unfortunately, not going to work out. Keto with the headshot for good measure. 12-2, securing a 12-3 half. That is surely enough to work.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so. And of course, it was T-side Inferno where OG looked ever so dominant. So it's not like we can use an argument of saying, you know, Inferno flipped on their heads. Going to second half, this is a very different ball game, and this is so much more dominant than Inferno was ever for either team. This is the most dominant map I've seen in this qualifier so far, and then some. NIP can't find any openings, can't find any space. Going to try and up that pacing just to get any opening, any opportunity, and it's not working whatsoever. Keto, Fasher combining beautifully. Hampus might get one off Catwalk, but the hit itself has been stopped and then some.
Just looks too good, doesn't it? Just looks way too good. OG hitting a different damn level here. Really not what I expected, that's for sure. I thought that Mirage would be all about nip. They might be able to pick things up into the second half on that CT side, but yeah, like I said, 2 crazy comeback maps in a row would just be out of this world. Oh, a missed shot from Magali. Does give a window of opportunity here. The second time of asking, he lands a leg, allows Fasher to finish him off with just 1 bullet. Should be all good from here on in then. 4 versus 2, and they did have a combined HP of about 26. Now it's just 1. Config's been on 1 HP about 3 rounds in this half. Oof. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lovely quick movement as well to get out of there. However, he doesn't quite realize it, but he's actually going to the more dangerous bomb site of the 2. Surely Nexa finds him. Spotted. And there it is. 13-2 as the crow flies. Beautiful stuff from the side of OG. Really looking forward to how this second half looks. And indeed, we might need a third. Nonetheless, we've got a bit more Counter-Strike to go. Join us in a few minutes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back into what may well be a swift finish to Mirage. Obviously, the pistol has all the weight in the world, arguably for both of the teams, but most certainly for NIP if they wish to stay alive here on.
Yeah, I think you say that again. Must win doesn't really do it justice, does it? And even then, about as long as the road gets, just want to play some Counter-Strike if you nip. It's so long since you've been in control of rounds, let alone the game. Let's play retake A. This is Brolan smoke in front of CT. Flashing through are the offensive players. Getting very frisky as Regale nets himself too. This duel for CT is ever ongoing, and the way it's trended now, looking quite good for NIP.
Yeah, looking decent, but they have managed to get the bomb down is the big thing, right? So the pressure on NIP to pull off the retake, and ooh, they're a little shaky, they're a little quaky. They do have a kit available. Hampus to lead the move in. Finds the head of Nexa pretty cleanly. Keto, though. A sneaky little spot here. Gonna peek out. Spots all three of them. One runs straight into his crosshair. Hampus to spin around and find the frag, though. So NIP, step one of survival is indeed complete.
Scary part is OG got a plant. So they could do whatever they like. They could buy here. Looks like that. They could have saved and got a really good investment in the following. But I like this. Mount the pressure. Do not let NIP build economy. And AKs are out. One on Regale. Just the one. Elsewhere a Galil. Keto's not actually fully brought up. There you go. A bit more in the nadage. Department. And let's see what the call is.
Something a bit aggressive, it would seem, from both sides. Roland to open up on the burst. Rez at range, finding his frag. Fiku to fall as well. Maybe should have picked up the trade there. It will be Keto with the AK, with that dangerous AK, to find a pretty important frag. Hampus with a weird little move catches Fasher completely off guard. There's kills all over the shop. It's looking good for NIP, though. 2 versus 1, slightly low Keto. Does have the bomb, but it's pretty known. I think it will be tough, unless... Oh, he could get the 2 headies. It does not quite come off for him, though.
I like the round from OG. It was pretty simple. It was just kind of spread out, and then as soon as that ramp engagement happened, everybody tried to split A as fast as they could and take as many duels as possible. That was very close to being an OG 1 round. Did a lot of good work. Clearly have a bit of leeway here in terms of their round counts, so no need to panic just yet. Whereas for NIP, it's survival, but it's well, only just. Look at Brolan, he hasn't even got a gun.
I think it's just a talk it out round, isn't it, for OG, really? The old classic secret timeout. There won't be much chit-chat about what they're doing around unless things start to look their way, which Regale has earned a pretty good frag there. Maybe they begin to consider what they want to do with this round. A push coming in from Headtrick as well could really go south if they're not careful. However, he's going to hear all these footsteps in towards T-spawn. Knows what's up. Tracking him down. May well be able to drop the bomb before it even gets close to a bomb site.
Couple more kills would be nice. Charlie can find that. He's been the point man. Not to be. Maybe some confidence restored somewhat to NIP this sort of round. As the guns are really waiting for. What have you got for us, Keto? Waste a good time on Headtrick. I think probably spotted. Oh, that's a nice one. Take those.
Any more? No, not going to happen for him. So, NIP stringing them together, looking good while doing so. Still a lot more work required, but we have said that before. They just I mean, this time can't start dropping rounds towards the tail end, otherwise they may well be in for heartbreak.
Back to the A split is OG. 2 ramp on Palace, 2 in mid at the moment. Just trying to fight Brolan here. Close ramp. Caught out immediately. Wide swing from Rez. But he didn't have the weaponry to deal with his opponents. Config can't get it done either. This round is falling apart. And then some Hedrick just trying to take some fights. Granted, he does drop the bomb. So maybe this could get interesting. Hampus is going to fly. Ooh, if Hampus gets behind the bomb, this could be really good.
I think that one kill from Hedrick has actually opened this round up quite massively. Fasher is flanking from B, thinking that, you know, he's the one getting in behind, but it's not really the case. However, as he starts seeing nobody on B, they do perhaps smell a rat.
Has Hampus seen bomb? Yeah, surely Hedrick sees it.
Surely Hedrick saw it, yeah.
Because I feel like if Hampus tucks in ramp like he is now, it looks a lot better. This CT fight is so big. Fash is looking the wrong way. Felt like it should be advantage NIP, but now it's all on Hampus. Tucks himself into ramp. Look at Nexus positioning. He's definitely aware of the possibility. Definitely aware. Gonna get it behind default. Oh, the smoke's a little bit late. Spray away, but Hampus can't get the kill. And once this bomb is planted, he loses all of his advantages.
Damn. Yeah, just felt like a little bit of a millimeter play there, unfortunately. A half second, not even quarter of a second earlier, he may well have found it. Now they're stacked on top of each other. Really going to be a difficult move for him. Oh, gets the first. And kind of ready for the second. Molotov down, smoke down, and a desperate attempt to the Ninja defuse here. Actually not going to commit to it, and Nexa has read him beautifully. Gets a good timing on the peak, knows what's up, hears those jumps, and finds the first rifle round for OG, as well as, of course, their 14th round.
And then IP, because they couldn't bank up any money because of how relentless OG were on the pistols, on the forces, they lose one and it's immediately disaster. Brolan, Hedrick have rifles, but outside of that, their buy is much the lesser of their opponents. Are they going to try and do something unorthodox? It doesn't feel like a standard setup is the way forward. They're trying to contest under a little bit. But they just haven't got the nades really to sustain this mid fight, have they? They've got to rely on raw shots. And Brolan just get faced, but no kill.
Fiku finding entry over on towards A. Okay, and everybody else joins in the party as well. So, looking very good here for OG. There was a slim moment, wasn't there, when config opened, but unfortunately, it came off for too much. Hampus with a nice find of his own, but dealt with. 15-5. Money no issue for OG going into what could be the final round of this here Mirage. Looking very, very good, and a complete juxtaposition from that first map.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Such a low force buy as well. This is looking brilliant for OG. And, you know, we called Fasher out before the map. Said he was a little bit lackluster on Inferno. We know how much potential is in this player, even if we didn't see it on Fnatic. And this map has been right back where we want him. In the driver's seat, getting aggressive, making moves. This is the Fasher I want to see in every single game. Hitting shots again and again and again. He's just relentless. And then IP running out of resistance here on Mirage.
Minute and 5 thereabouts left on the clock. A little 1-for-1 to kick us off, but ultimately OG taking their time. I like the move in here from Config. Okay, at range. An attempt was made, but unfortunately no kill pulled off. So what is the move from here? Down through the underpass, up through the connector, and on towards A. They only have 30 seconds to do it in, though, Alan. There's not a lot of time.
Yeah, and A's the heavily defended site. Look at it. One player jungle, one under the balcony, and that scouting towards CT. Good shots here. Could go a long way. Fasher, though. First found. Make it 2. Might be taken out in the end, but perhaps he's done enough for his team. That molly is so annoying onto CT. Going to force Hedrick out into the open, and now he's the only man left, and this is looking over. OG surely are going to clean this map up now and send us to the 3rd. All in all, when you look at this series so far, they've only played one bad half of Counter-Strike. Elsewise, it's been all OG.